Hello and welcome to this video for Publisher exercise number 20. So we're going to be reviewing a couple of skills and then also covering a few new ones here for Publisher. So we've been working with aligning text, for a long time, starting with Microsoft Word, and then of course we went to Excel, PowerPoint, and now we're here at Publisher. And you're pretty used to just using the paragraph section up here. You have of course left alignment, center alignment, right alignment, and then you have justify, which justify basically makes it look like how when you're reading a book you notice how it lines up kind of just naturally with the left side and the right side kind of spreading it out. That's what it is. So we've worked with those, so this isn't really something that I should have to spend too much time going over, but we do have some more options when it comes to Publisher. Of course, you can click the dialog box launcher for paragraph and you have a couple more options for how to choose your alignment. You'll notice too we have distribute all lines, and then we have indentation where we can choose that. We can choose line spacing as well over here, and there's some buttons up here for that, so right here. And then we of course also have between the lines, you can choose the spacing over here. So anytime you have to deal with line spacing, you would want to click on this button or click on here and choose more options. And then of course tabs and line paragraph breaks, this is the place to change that as well too. So this is one of your options, but something newer with Publisher as opposed to the other programs is going up here to the text box tools after I've selected one. Now with dealing with alignment, I can just click in the text box and it'll let me adjust the whole paragraph. If you are wanting to change the size of it or do certain formatting like bold and things like that, you have to actually select the words you want. So that's kind of the nice thing with alignment. You can just click in the middle of the sentence here and it'll let me change it. Now up here you can see we have some different options. As opposed to just aligning it left, middle, or left, center, and right, I can actually choose if I want top right, if I want bottom right, if I want to have bottom left, if I want the right center. So there's a lot of good options here for you to use that we're going to be using here today. So let's go ahead and get started here now that we've covered the skills that we need to know. We need to open up Publisher file exercise number 20, so Pub 20. So I'm going to open that up. So I'm going to click File. I'll click Open. It's in my recent files, but you're going to go to Downloads more than likely is where you have it. So Pub 20. Mine's taking its time to load. And of course we're working here with our Hendrix Gazette, still making changes with it. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so you can see it better too. And we can see here it says click the heading Hendrix Gazette. So I'm going to click on it. You notice I click once. And of course it's selecting the whole box, but really the text box is kind of limited here in where the text is. And we're going to set it to center alignment. So we're just going up to the paragraph group here. We're selecting center alignment. And you notice it barely changes, and that's just because of the size of the text box. So, but just click on it. As long as you can see this is gray, you know it made that change. Then we also need to change here volume, issue, and date text to center alignment as well. So let's go over here to that. I click once on this box, and also you'll notice I can actually choose to center it right here when I click on it. And if I click on this one again, you'll notice I have to select the text to get this box to come up. So if you're wanting to do center alignment, you can do that. Also, you notice when I hovered over it, it gives you that shortcut here that I could just go and click and select my text and do Control and E to center alignment. And there's even shortcut for align left, shortcut for align right, and then also justified as well. So you could use the keyboard shortcuts or clicking the buttons. I'm going to show you the buttons just for the sake of you knowing them. Alright, in the green gradient text box, we're coming down here to this one. It says we need to set the vertical alignment to middle, so I'm just going to click on it. And let's go back up here to the text box tools. I click Format, and it says again vertical alignment to middle. So this is where I'm dealing with alignment, vertical alignment, and it's actually already set to that. So vertical alignment, oh excuse me, no it's not. That's at the top. Vertical alignment to middle. So right here. Not much of a change there, but visually, but I do want you to click on that button because I will be checking for that. And then also in the gray border text box, so down here we're looking at this one, so I'm going to click on it, scroll down a little bit so you can see it. I'll zoom in a little bit more just in case maybe you're looking at this on a smaller screen. So this text box right here we're dealing with right now. It says change the spacing between the lines of text to 1.10 spacing by typing in the measure box and change the horizontal alignment to left. So let's do that. Let's change the spacing first and then we'll come back. So I'm going to click Home tab. Here's my paragraph group and let's click the dialog box launcher right here. When that comes up, it did say we need to change the horizontal alignment to left. So I'm going to click here where it says center, change it to left. And then we also need to go down. Now this is indentation. We're not dealing with that right now. We're dealing with line spacing, specifically between the lines. So over here between lines, let's click on it. I'm going to get rid of 5 and type in 10. So 1.10 spacing, and then let's click OK. And you can see here it's changed our spacing and how it looks. So it's now aligned to the left, and then of course the spacing is different here as well. Of course SP stands for spaces, in case you're wondering. Now we're going to work on the coupon. So let's go down here to the bottom of our page. We're working with the Hendrix Inn. So let's click on this. And it says we're going to be changing, we need to center it and also change the font size. So as opposed to just clicking on it, I'm going to select the text here because we got to do both. So again, center. So let's click on the center button. And then also, so you can see now it's over here. And I'm going to have to go back up here because my toolbar is gone. And we're going to change it to 14-point font. So right now it's 12.2. Click the up arrow, it goes to 14. Looks like that. And then it says center the address line as well. So I click on this. Now remember, because I'm not selecting the text, I can just click center alignment up here and it'll do the whole thing. And then also it says we need to change the alignment of both paragraphs under the springtime is garden time up here. So we go up here to this text box. It says we're dealing with a 2 paragraphs, so it means it's this text under it. Remember the idea of it doesn't necessarily have to be a paragraph to be considered one. It's just when you see the enter button is pushed and it's a new line here of text, that's considered a paragraph. So our 2 paragraphs we've selected. And then let's select justify alignment up here, because it says justify. And like I said, you can see it's like a book. It kind of changes how the spacing is here, so it goes to both sides. Of course, you have those hyphens separating the words as well, spreading it out to the next line. And then what we need to do is let's save our work. So we're going to switch it. We need to name it here. We didn't do that at the beginning, but let's do that right now. So save as. We need to choose the correct folder. Don't save it in downloads. Go to your folder first. So your flash drive, wherever the case may be. And we're going to change it here to 20 flyer underscore your initials. 20 flyer underscore your initials. And then let's print it as well. So I'm going to choose the print option. You can do Control P, or you could click on File and choose Print, all that. I got to switch my printer here to Microsoft Print to PDF. And of course, choose Print, saving it with the same name. Make sure you're in the right folder. So mine's already there. And we're going to name it 20 flyer underscore your initials. Alright, we finished with the first file. Let's move on to the second part of our exercise here. Let's open up OPUB 20. So OPUB 20. So I'm going to choose File, Open. Of course, I have it here in my recent files list. You're going to go ahead and open up wherever you have it saved. And here's OPUB 20. I'm going to close out of our other file here. So 20 flyer, let's get rid of that. If it'll work, maybe it's not. Okay, we'll just leave it open for now. It should hopefully not interfere. So OPUB 20, and let's save it right away with the new name. So File, Save As, and of course you're choosing the correct folder. Don't click on Downloads, don't click on the folder it was in. Go to where you need to and save it. And we're going to save it here with the name 20 board underscore your initials. So we're still working on this one here. Now what you're going to need to do, you can see it's been spread out. We've had textures applied to it, borders, all that stuff. What you're going to do is you need to set each box of the bulletin board to have a unique combination of vertical and horizontal alignments. No 2 boxes should have the same combination. So for instance here you can see they're all right now aligned to the top left. So what you're going to want to do is, I could leave this one here with that top left, that's fine, but I'm going to go over here, choose text box tools, and I'm going to choose something different. So I can maybe choose right middle. And then I could go over to this one and choose a different one. I'm going to choose bottom middle. And I'm going to choose a different one. I'm going to choose bottom left, bottom right. So just make sure none of them are exactly the same. Okay, so they all need to be very different. So I'm going to be checking to see that. Very easy step to do. Then what you need to do is for the red border text box, so we're dealing with this one right here, it says we need to set the line spacing of the body paragraph to 1.5 spacing. So I'm going to just click here. And so let's go to Home tab. We're going to go to Paragraph Group here, and we're going to click the Dialog Box Launcher. And we're dealing with line spacing again. So I'm going down here to the line spacing section, and it says we need to change this to 1.5. Right now it's just one spacing, so 1.5. And then also we need to change the after paragraph to 10. So I'm going to click in front of the 0, put a 1, and then let's click OK. So you can see it's changed the spacing here as well. Something apparently I didn't realize, apparently we might have wanted to select all the text because it didn't do that with this one here. So let's change that very quickly here. I click there. Same thing, we're changing this to 1.5, and then we're also changing the after to 10. So doing the same thing. Sorry, my mouse keeps wanting to move after I let go of it. And click OK, and it should look like this because that's a new paragraph. So it looks like we'll have to select all the text since it's multiple paragraphs. Then it says change the line spacing for at least 2 other text boxes, including the between spacing and spacing either before or after. So you just saw how to do that. You want to select all the text in the box, and then you're going to click on the Dialog Box Launcher, and you're changing the line spacing before or after, and then of course you're changing the between lines spacing as well. So I'm not going to do that step because you can do that yourself, so it should look a little bit different. Do what I just said here in the video. Then once you're done with that, you just click Save. You do not have to print this file, so you're going to end up submitting for me 3 files. Let me bring those up here for you. The 3 files you're going to submit for exercise number 20 are, you have, of course, we did the 20 flyer, and you have publisher file and PDF for that, and then of course the board publisher file as well. And that's how you complete publisher exercise number 20.